Hold on, brother, I'm talking.
What is up, guys? Welcome to my channel, AJ's Corner. This is just a quick video reacting to the news. As you can see here on the screen, Donald Cerrone says he's ending retirement, eyes 2 more UFC fights, which I guess shouldn't be surprising to anyone. It should be surprising that it took this long, but I am actually surprised. I thought he had other endeavours, working with Monster. UFC, might give him some little bits of work here and there, even though I haven't seen him on any broadcasts. I'm not going to lie, I am actually pretty shocked. I thought he was gone for good. I thought he was going to get juice to the gills and just have some misfits fights and punch up some YouTubers for some laughs and some checks. He's the kind of guy that he'll be popular for a long time to come. He's a legend, one of the greatest lightweights ever, one of the greatest UFC fighters to never win a belt. Some of the streaks he had, that one streak he had was just fantastic at lightweight. And even some of his little mini streak at welterweight. That knockout of Rick Story might be the best knockout going for me personally. One of my favourite knockouts of all time. The combination. If you've never seen it, please go on YouTube it. I'm sure it's up somewhere. I obviously can't show it because I'll get my channel nuked like my old one did. But the combination, I think it was an elbow. I think it was a punch, an elbow, and a kick, all in the same combination, like 2 punch, 1 elbow, 1 kick combination. But he had Story bouncing all over the place. It was really something to behold. It was one of the. It reminds me of the Alvarez McGregor knockout, where Alvarez is moving through the air all over the place, and McGregor's still landing perfectly on his chin as he's moving through the air. Just some precise sniper type stuff. Obviously, it's not the same opponent, not the same stakes, but that is one of the greatest knockouts I have ever seen in my life. It was just one of the craziest combinations, and he just fired it off so naturally, and man, it was impressive. So let's see what he got to say. Donald Cerrone's MMA retirement appears to be over. Cowboy called it a career after a second round submission loss to Jim Miller at UFC 276 in July 2022. His 6th consecutive loss in the octagon. That's crazy, because thinking about it now, they might be thinking of matching him up against Tony, which I kind of understand. Because Tony's last win was against Cerrone, I think in like 2019 or something. I think he started the losing streak for Cerrone. I'd have to check, but I'm pretty sure. That's how long it's been, like 5 years since Tony got a win. Crazy, and it was against this guy. So now, after 48 overall appearances in UFC and WBC and 55 fights total, Cerrone says he's coming out of retirement with the hopes of getting to 50 overall appearances for the Zuffa brand. Check out Cerrone's announcement in the video below. So let's just look at this. He's had 7 fights in, King of the Cage, things like that. And then all the rest of his fights, 48 appearances in UFC and WBC. 48 times he had to step into an octagon with a WBC, UFC level opponent. And back where Cerrone was fighting, there were no chumps in the sport like there are today. It was quality, not quantity. And also the training camps. The training camps he's been in. And I know Cerrone had some fights where he turned around 2 weeks later and he'd fight all the time, which might have been why he racked up so much mileage so fast. But that is just a crazy impressive record to have. That is just super impressive. All the training, all the sparring, people don't take that into account, the damage he's taken. But look at this here. Cerrone, he aged overnight, same as Ferguson. They were both young, sprightly guys with full heads of hair, looked fresh-faced, and then all of a sudden, they both just looked old in the face. Their hair started to fall out. They both had major receding hairlines. They receded crazy. I remember Cowboy's losing streak. It's like his hair went back an inch every loss. It was crazy. Not to diss the guy, he's a legend. But it says here, I'm chasing greatness. 50 fights in UFC. Not only do I want to win, I want to finish. I want a bonus. Most wins in UFC history, most finishes, most bonuses, most walks to the cage. Can't argue with that. I want to go back to UFC and get 2 more fights, Cerrone said. When I retired, I told you I was getting my hair done and getting my steroids. Getting on steroids. Fair play to him. Get that hair sorted. Get those hair plugs, Cowboy. Donald. The number 50 has been sitting on my mind for a while. I can't fault the guy. Just get him in against Mickey Gall and Tony, and then get him up to 50. Cerrone says he's been working with the company and taking TRT and a bunch of peptides for the last couple of years, but is now getting ready to get off those in order to get back into the UFC drug testing pool. Which, I guess that's fair enough. As long as you're not clean when you fight, that's all that matters. And you're getting the testing pool, you've got to be clean for 6 months. The rules is the rules, isn't it? For all the people who are like, oh, what you can't get on it, you can never come off. Well, I know how to come off and piss clean. Don't say that, Cowboy. Don't say that. We believe you're clean. The one-time UFC title challenger says he plans to fight in a few months following his retirement. Cerrone was inducted in the 2023 class of the UFC Hall of Fame, rightly so. The 41-year-old holds a number of spots in the record books, including the most combined UFC, WC post-fight bonuses with 23. So that's 50 G's times 23. That's £1,150,000 just in bonuses. So Cowboy's probably one of the most wealthiest fighters. Whether he's looked after his money is another thing, but he's one of the most wealthiest fighters earnings-wise who's never won a title in UFC history, and for good reason. He deserves it. Company man and a fan favourite and a legend, but man, he looks like a 6-year-old man out of a Western movie here. He really does look like an old cowboy. Do you know what I mean? Tough as old leather, but also looks like old leather. Anyway, next, a little bit of news here. Mike Perry arrested for DUI in Florida. Man looks crazy, don't he? I'm going to do a video on that as well too. No one's talking about this. The PFL's this weekend with Francis and no one's talking about it. So arrested for DUI in Florida, Florida man. On a pair of charges, driving under the influence. Along with an offence, so he failed to sign a citation, 2nd-degree misdemeanor, so he's got 2 misdemeanors. It was his first offence according to records. I do not understand what it is with fighters and getting done with DUI. I mean, I know they're risk takers, but my God, it's so easy to not get a DUI. It's so easy to not do it. And you could crash into a little family. Even at 1 a.m, people travel with their kids late at night when they're going from state to state. I'm sure, you've got to think of other people. Perry's got kids himself. He's coming up to his mid-30s. Guy needs to grow up a bit. I like Perry, but come on, this is bad. Bad luck. Perry was released on $1,500 bond in the morning. Yeah, it looks like he spent the night sleeping there. Look at his hair. It looks like he spent the night sleeping on his side, smashed in the police station. He must have been hammered. He's going to appear in court on the 30th of October. The penalties can be a maximum of 60 days in jail and a fine of up to 500 quid. So it's minor. Nothing's going to happen to him. He's probably going to get a 500 quid fine and a slap on the wrist. Apparently he was going 20 miles over the speed limit according to the officer's calibrated speedometer. So you're going 20 miles over the speed limit while drunk, and it was like 1 a.m, I read somewhere. Yeah, 1:04 a.m. It's like, God damn it, man! These guys don't give themselves do themselves any favors. The officer noticed the smell of alcohol coming from the vehicle. According to the report, Perry denied consuming alcohol. He was probably like, man, what are you talking about? You know what Perry is. He was informed his speech sounded slow, to which Perry responded that the officer's speech sounded fast. I can imagine that too. So it is what it is. Nothing's really going to come of it. It's just news for nothing really. But Perry in a bit of trouble, but nothing really, a misdemeanor. So hopefully he gets it together. I mean, he's obviously just partying, living life, enjoying, spending that Jake Paul check. It is what it is. Here's a little clip from back in the day. This is like a 29.
But y'all gonna tell the police that I fucking in the police?
I'll knock your old ass out too. This is like a 350-pound old boss hog.
Fuck you, fat piece of shit. Hey, no.
Oh, you fat piece of shit. Do you see how he went down? He lifted him up into the air like Perry got some power.
Police! I'll knock your old ass out too. Motherfucker, you fat piece of shit.
I'll knock your old ass out too, you mother effer, you piece of ears.
No. Motherfucker, you fat piece of shit. Hey, no.
One more time.
Piece of shit. Hey, no.
That guy went to the ground fast, but you're gonna when you weigh over 300 pounds. So that's it. Is what it is. Just a little bit of an update and a little bit of a reaction to some news. Shocking for Cowboy, but I mean, if Tony can still keep fighting, I mean, Cowboy's going to be. He's had a 2-year break, and I mean, Tony hasn't really been getting knocked out either. To be honest, it's like he's underwater. But we'll see how Cowboy looks when he comes back. Man, it's making me feel old. All these legends that I've watched, come up and now go down. It's sad to see, but Father Time waits for no one, as they say. Father Time is undefeated. So yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.